Hey everybody, I'm hoping you're getting this, and I'm hoping the internet is not glitching like it should be, but I don't see anyone in here yet anyway watching, even though I already got 2 likes. Well, there's one person in there. So, anywho, welcome back to the Miniac. Welcome to the live stream tonight. I'm in the Miniac studio, the secret studio that you can't see behind this cloth here. And so, tonight's video is on the recap for the last video. It was supposed to be for the last Friday video, but I decided to make another video today, and I had a little help getting it created. So first of all, let's recap the Friday video. The Friday video was a comparison between the Mini Countryman and the Mini Clubman. Both vehicles were equally equipped. Both vehicles ride on the same UK L2 platform, and both vehicles use the same 189 horsepower 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. They also both have the same all-wheel drive system. So essentially, they were identical in a way, and what made them different was the fact that one is a CUV vehicle and the other one is basically a compact car or wagon, as the case may be, based on the body styling. So it was kind of an interesting way of taking the two vehicles and putting them together in a video and actually seeing how the two function, even though they're completely different cars. They had the same drivetrains, they had everything else going for them, but it was just a way in how those vehicles drove that made them very different. Obviously, one being slightly higher up and one being slightly lower. So it was interesting. They both drove equally like the way a Mini should. They were both very nimble, both very enjoyable vehicles, but at the same time, completely different. One was a larger car, more geared towards a larger family. The other one was a smaller car, geared towards a family as well, but in a slightly smaller package. That being said, both vehicles were equally fun to drive, and I encourage you, if you're looking for a larger Mini, I encourage you to go out there and test drive the Clubman as well as the Countryman and put them both together and really get an idea of which one you really want or which one you really need, because they're both Minis, they're both larger Minis, but they're equally different vehicles, and that's what makes them great cars. So, anyway, excuse me one quick second here. Sorry about that. I had to let the cat out. But anyway. And now he's going. Good. For those of you who don't know, I have a cat in my studio. Anywho, where else did we go? We could talk a little bit about that video in a bit. First of all, good evening, Christopher. Secondly, you all saw or might have been seeing or going to see the video I did today that was released around 5 p.m. Central. That was the one on the electric Mini. Now, that one was put together with some help from a filmmaker friend of mine, as well as the sales manager of the Mini dealership. They helped me put it together in a way that was more fun and more interesting. Yes, it's a shorter video, but I wanted to see what it would be like to actually do something a little bit out of the norm, something that's different than what I would normally do. So that's where that video came along, and I think it came out really well. We used the footage that we had from corporate because they had already filmed the car. As you know, I didn't get to go down and see the car. Not that that's a huge deal. At some point, I probably will get invited to those events, but I wasn't invited to that one, and not a huge deal. But anyway, good video. I think we edited together about 30-40 minutes of video footage into about a 3-minute long video. So it was a pretty quick way of it was not that quick, actually. The video is really short, but it was very time consuming and tedious in putting the video together, so that took some time. But I think the video ended up coming out really well. I'm hoping people really like it, and I'm hoping that it really kind of draws the attention that I've wanted from that kind of video. So if you all really like this video, there's another video I'm working on that's going to be on the GP3. It's going to be in the same kind of style, but it's going to be another one of those short kind of music videos. I'm trying to see how those turn out as we head into February, and I switch over into the new format of going back to Monday and Friday videos with a live stream on Wednesday. So anyway, I've also wanted to let you know that I do have grill badges now. They are available at motoringbadges.com if you go into the new products section of the website. And one of them has already been shipped to one of my Patreon members, so he is already his badge is already on his way to him. But they also made stickers, so this is one of the stickers, and it's also available in black with a white logo. So this is one of the badges, pretty nice. There's an inverse of this, which is a black with white logo as well, and then these two are the other badges. This is the logo. This is the logo with catchphrase badge in black and white as well. And they're available on the Motoring Stripes Motoring Badges website for, I believe, about $7.50 a badge, I want to say. That's about his going rate for grill badges for minis. And if you're interested in buying one, head on over there and check it out. They're pretty cool. Also, if you want to use the code Miniac, you will get 5% off on your order, as well as anything you want to order from him. So if you want to order bonnet stripes, if you want to order the bumper protection strip, if you want to order the sunroof delete kit, you get 5% off on those orders. And that's a pretty good bargain when you think about it. I also naturally have a 5% discount if you go use Miniac5 at outmotoring.com. So you'll get a 5% off on your order there as well. So lots of cool new stuff coming along the way. The badges were one of those big things. The stickers were one of those big things. And things are just really moving along at a good clip for this channel. And I'm hoping, and it looks like we might actually do it, the channel will probably hit about 5,000 subscribers sometime middle of February. I'm looking for the potential of possibly hitting 10,000 subscribers sometime in August or September, which is a huge deal and a big jump for me with this channel. That opens up even more doors and even more opportunities for the channel. Naturally, July will be Mini Takes States, and you can be sure I will be there. I will also have plenty of these grill badges with me, as well as any other stuff that the Motoring Stripes might want to send along with me for as far as merch goes for you guys. But if you all were looking for Mini Takes States badges and stickers and so forth, you can head over to you can head over to motoringstripes.com as well and check that out. So, anywho, we also know that the electric Mini is going to be released soon. People are still complaining about the range on the car. Now, here's where things got interesting, and someone said if the car had a 200-mile range, they might be more interested in it. Here's my take on it. I drive about, if I go out to Kansas City, about 40 miles out, 40 miles back. That's 80 miles. The range on the car is 110 miles or so. Here's my take on this, though, is most business parks, or most places where you might go work, there's a very good chance that you have a place where you can charge your car. Or there's going to be electric car charging stations nearby. If you go to the cities, they're going to be in parking garages. So those places are there. You go to work in the morning, park your car in the charging bay, charge it while you're at work, and then get back in the car. You have that full 110-mile range back again. So you're not really losing any range by driving to the city and back from the city. In fact, if your commute was 50 miles, 60 miles, 70 miles, 80 miles, and you still had a place to charge your car when you got there, you would be fine, because then you drive the car back from the city, you park it in your garage or in your driveway, you plug it back in and charge it back up, and you're good to go. You have the full range back after the car charges overnight. So the range anxiety that people are getting on this car is kind of funny when you think about the earlier electric cars, which got maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 miles of range, which that was true range anxiety, because you really couldn't drive the car very far before it needed to be a full recharge. So I think the 110 miles isn't terrible. Yes, it could be even better, and Tesla wants to go out there and say our range is better, so on and so forth. But I don't see their cars being more fun to drive than a Mini, and I don't see any other electric car out there that in the market today that will be more fun to drive than a Mini Cooper SE. That includes Tesla, and I know some of you might disagree with me, but I really don't care. I think the Cooper SE is going to be a fantastically fun vehicle to drive, and I'm looking forward to test driving one when it's finally available. So I'm going to open up the evening for questions. Anyone have any questions they want to ask me, anything they want to talk about, Mini-related stuff, you name it. But while I'm working on that, let you a little update of what happened recently. I was out driving my car on I-35 in Kansas City and got cut off. Managed to avoid hitting a car, but I had to swerve to get out of the way and went through a 30-foot long line of potholes. So I blew the control arm bushings on the front of my Clubman, I damaged a tire, and I bent a wheel. So my car's been sitting at the shop now since Saturday. So not a fun weekend for me, and not a fun last couple of days. They're still working on it. They also have to do an alignment, but let's just say it's repairs I was not looking forward to having to do. And unfortunately, that's exactly what has happened. So Mayo Chicken says, when do you think the new JCW forged carbon mirrors will release? I have no clue when those mirrors are going to be released. I'm assuming you're referring to the carbon fiber mirror caps. I don't know when they're going to release them for the new mirror design. So we're still waiting to find out when they're going to release new mirror designs for the new special mirror caps for the Mini's new mirror design. So I have no clue. Nickerish, I've never seen you before here, so welcome. How did you get into Minis? Well, interesting story, and I'll be happy to share that with you. It was 2011. It was right after my grandmother had passed away, and she had left a fairly good sum of money for me to get a new car when I graduated from college for my bachelor's degree. So I was looking at several dozen different cars. I thought I'd go for something fun. So I was looking at an Audi S4. I was looking at BMW M3. And I wasn't even looking at manual transmissions at the time. But a friend of mine who owned a Mini told me that what I really should do is buy a Mini. He said, buy a Mini. And if you're going to buy a Mini, you need to buy one with a manual transmission. So he took me out and gave me the run through of how to drive the 6-speed Getrag transmission in the Mini Cooper. Now I can drive any stick shift pretty much. So from there, it came down to finding the car. Now, I was looking around everywhere trying to find one, and one finally popped up, and it was a 2006 Mini Cooper S in pepper white with the black roof. It had the black rally stripes. It had chrome everywhere, and it had rally lights. And what set me off with that car was the rally lights. The covers were Union Jack covers. So that kind of set the gears rolling, and that car ended up having quite a few other Union Jack accessories on it after I had upgraded it. It also had an Alta light bar, which was pretty rare. So I had 2 sets of fog lights, 2 sets of driving lights, and could blind the heck out of oncoming traffic. So that was my first Mini. That's where I got in. That's how I got into the Mini brand. And after that, I was hooked. So it went from that car to a Cooper Clubman, and from that to a Cooper S John Cooper Works. Then I wrecked that car, and then I got into a John Cooper Works Clubman. Then also, you all remember my car Rocky, which was a Cooper S, which was a 2008 Cooper S JCW. Sold that car, but I still have my Clubman, and no telling what other Mini might come along. So you can be sure that I will be getting another Mini at some point. I'm thinking an F56 John Cooper Works hardtop, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, speaking of hardtop, this is kind of an aside thing. Someone asked me why I refer to the Mini two-door as a, pardon me. Too much noise coming from the hallway. I have the TV on in the other room. So, anywho, where was I? Oh, one of my viewers asked me why I refer to the two-door hardtop as a hardtop and not a hatch. Well, in the UK European market, they refer to it as the Mini hatch. In the US market, we refer to it as the two-door hardtop and a four-door hardtop. So the reason why I think we call it the two-door hardtop and four-door hardtop is to differentiate it from the Clubman, which someone would argue, well, it's a hardtop too, and it has 4 doors. Yes, that may be true, but it's called the Clubman. So it's kind of a goofy thing, kind of a weird way of going with that. But that's what we do. So the car is referred to as a hardtop and not a hatch, even though yes, it is the Mini hatch, but like I said, we call it the hardtop. So that answers that little question someone had, and that was my tangent for you all this evening. So I hope you didn't mind that too much. But I wanted to go ahead and hear any other questions that people might have. Any comments, snide remarks, whatever you want to chime in. If you have any questions about the last 2 videos that you got to see, if you have any questions about the videos that are coming up. Nickerish says, do you prefer a sunroof or no sunroof? Well, that is a loaded question because I owned a Mini that had no sunroof. I didn't mind that too much. And most of my Minis I've owned in the past have had sunroof. So I've hit the point where I really don't care if it has a sunroof or doesn't have a sunroof. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. Some people prefer to have a sunroof. Some people prefer not to have a sunroof. My next Mini will probably not have a sunroof because it's just not something I really use that often as much as I thought I would, because mine in my Clubman is actually completely vinyled over. It is covered with a silver Union Jack. And the reason why is I like the look of it, but it also blocks out the sun so my interior doesn't heat up as much. So my Mini technically has a sunroof, but it technically does not have a sunroof because the glass is vinyled over. So it really I really have no preference one way or the other when it comes to the sunroof on the car, and I imagine a lot of you out there are the same way. What I have noticed with regard to the sunroofs on the Minis, though, is that between the first gen and the third gen, they've really gotten better with the sunshade, because the first gen sunshades was almost the equivalent of cheesecloth. It really didn't block out much, and the sunshade on the third gens actually block out quite a bit, which is very nice. So that's kind of my take on the sunroof. And I don't have anything else to say on that. So I'm hoping someone else has a question they would like to chime in on. Otherwise, I may cut this short tonight and get to work on some other things. But it is nice to see some new people in here. Nickerish, I see that you said you followed me on Facebook, so welcome on over to the channel. I don't think I've seen you on here forever in the live stream, at least, so it's nice to have you here. And I see a few other people I know very well. I see Dale Taylor's in there. I see Dale Taylor in there, and I know he's getting ready to get some upgrades done on his Mini Countryman. He's going to have the John Cooper Works tuning kit put on it, so that's supposed to be pretty cool. I think he's going to get a kick out of that. In fact, the service loaner I'm driving right now is a Cooper S Clubman or Cooper S Countryman All 4 with a manual transmission, and it has the John Cooper Works tuning kit on it. So it's kind of a lot of fun to drive the car like that. And I'm noticing I'm glitching a little bit here, so I apologize. If it cuts out, I hope it doesn't. Nickerish says, what do you think about the new GP? I have yet to drive the car yet. I will probably actually get a chance to drive the car because there's supposedly one or two coming to my local dealership. So I may actually get a chance to drive it, or at the very least film it. But that should be kind of fun. We'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to seeing the car. I think it's kind of cool. At the same time, I think it's kind of over the top. But that's just the kind of the thing. You either love it or you hate it. It's kind of the equivalent of that. It's almost right up there with Rocky's Roadster that some of you all either love or hate. It's kind of just you either love the car or you hate the car. It's kind of just a back and forth kind of thing. iPhone Guru. Well, iPhone Guru is getting the hat that I had in the drawing. So for all of you who didn't know what the raffle prize questions were, the answers were the Austin. What was it? The Austin 7 and the Morris Mini Minor. Those were the original names of the 1959 Minis that rolled off the assembly line. They didn't become an Austin Mini, I think, until about 1961, give or take. The other question was the Clubman is named McCoy. And there's multiple reasons why it's called that. One of them is because it is a factory John Cooper Works, therefore it is the real McCoy. So anywho, iPhone Guru says, do you know of anyone that makes R55 Union Jack taillights or covers? Can't find them anywhere. I know of a guy in Vietnam who's working on them. So I can tell you that. If you've seen any of the ones that are on the R56s or R53s, he actually designed all of those. In fact, he also designed there's also a guy F56 keys, and he's working on some of those. So he might have something for the R55 at some point. So we'll see. Nickerish says Mini needs to add Android Auto. Actually, Nickerish, Mini is adding Android Auto to their cars at some point soon, sometime this year possibly, as BMW is also adding Android Auto to their vehicles. So you will be able to use Android Auto in a Mini at some point soon, but it will have to be one of the brand new ones, as I don't think it's retrofittable to the previous navigation systems. So, Des Miller, do many people in the USA vinyl wrap their cars? I don't know about vinyl wrapping their cars. I know a lot of the mini owners in the U.S. vinyl stripe their cars. But if you visited motoringstripes.com, that's my vinyl guy. That's the dealership's vinyl guy. You can see that we do love putting vinyl stripes on our cars that are not factory. We don't necessarily care too much for the factory stripes. In fact, if you look at most of the cars on Baron Mini's inventory on their website, I would say about 99% of the cars, 99.9% of the cars on that website do not have vinyl stripes on them unless they were dealer transferred, dealer swapped, or ordered that way by a customer who later canceled their order. They never order them with stripes, and that's because they want to let the customer decide what they want on the car, because not everyone wants the same thing. So I think most Mini owners out there do tend to put vinyl on their cars, sometimes even vinyl wrap them. I've toyed with the idea at some point, if I had the money to do it, of wrapping my Clubman in a very, very bright, if you've ever seen the green in the Lamborghini Huracan, that kind of color. which would be really kind of weird on a John Cooper Works Clubman, but at the same time, kind of cool. So yeah, I would say that many people in the USA do actually wrap their cars. Wow, we got 13 people in here, and we're 20 minutes in. That's a record for me, I think. I would hope. But anyway, I'd want to see in here what all do you drive out there? I want to see what the viewers right now, what Mini do you drive? Do you drive an R53? Do you drive an R52? Do you drive an R56? Do you drive an F56? Do you drive an R50? So what Mini all out there do you all drive? I want to hear about that. And Nickerish, I don't know anything about Stripe My Mini, but as I said, I have a preference for motoringstripes.com, largely because I am sort of sponsored by them as well. He cuts me some deals on vinyl work, so I tend to promote his business. But anyway, Mayo Chickens drives an F56 JCW. I love the F56 JCW. That's my next dream car. Mini Mafia says, good evening. I hear the Mini taking away from market the Union Jack taillights kits for older cars. They claim electric problems. Do you know anything about it? Yes, I do know that the Union Jack taillights, they had brought them out as a retrofit for the F56 older ones. Then they took it back. The reason why is they were still causing a bulb out issue for some of the older cars. However, there was a company in the UK, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they're on Instagram, and the sales manager at the dealership actually bought one of their sets. They make retrofit Union Jack taillights that will work on the pre-Union Jack taillight Minis. So the ones that the F56 generation that doesn't have the Union Jack taillights, you can get retrofits from this company in the UK. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but they're on Instagram. I think it's called, I want to say SMS or something or other. I'm not exactly sure, but they do carry them, and they are, I believe, they are retrofittable onto the other cars. The ones from the factory that were factory retrofits were causing a bulb out issue, which they couldn't figure out why it was causing. So rather than continue to sell them, they pulled them from the market. D. Tasca says, hi, Zachary. Hello. Mayo Chickens, we follow one another on Instagram. Okay, so that's good. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to figure out which JCW then you have. Jody Dobrin, F56 2019. Dale Taylor, an R56 and an F60. And Dale, I've seen your R56, very sharp little car, has a John Cooper Works appearance package on it. Very nice. D. Tasca, I drive a 2019 Countryman John Cooper Works, chili red of 6-speed manual. Love it. Love the fact that you have a 6-speed manual on a Countryman. Very nice. Des Miller, F56 Cooper S, very nice as well. So it's a nice mix in here. A lot of you I don't see a lot of the R53 folks in here tonight, which is kind of surprising. So you think I would see a lot more of those, considering those cars are a lot cheaper to buy these days. But kind of cool. That's a nice mix in here. A lot of newer Minis in here. I'm very happy to see that. So obviously some of you aren't scared away by the people who think the car looks like a, quote, bloated whale or so on and so forth. I disagree with that completely. I think they look fantastic. Mayo Chickens. At Mayo Chickens, it's black and white with dual AG parts and JCW Pro Kit as well. Oh, okay. I think I know who you are now. Nickerish, I'm thinking about adding stripes to my car. Depends. What kind of stripes are you looking for? The classic bonnet stripes, the racing stripes down the middle. Whatever you want to do could come to mind. Donna Shorts 1, welcome. I drive a 2020 Cooper S British green with white stripes. Very nice. Sounds like a very classic look for a Mini. Very proper look for a Mini. Des Miller and an F60 Cooper S, Des. I don't believe there is no F70. Nickerish, I drive a 2012 R56. Very nice. Mayo Chickens, awesome. Laugh out loud. Nickerish, no, none. Non-S. Okay. Okay, you drive a non-S. Okay. Like I said, I had a 2011 R55 Cooper Clubman, so I've driven a non-S Mini before. Tom McQuiston, I've always wanted one. I'm now holding out until the two-door hardtop JCW's manual arrives. You can order a manual John Cooper Works hardtop, I believe, starting in February, so next month, which is not very far away. I'm not sure on the specific date, but that would put delivery to dealerships around April, I want to say, April or May. So there is time. The cars will be available with manuals very soon, and the sales manager I've talked to is looking forward to that again because he is missing manual transmissions on the lot. John Schwartz 1. Zach, one thing I regret is that I didn't get navigation. Is that retrofittable? Unfortunately, I don't believe so. That because navigation is a touchscreen navigation system, and if I'm correct and looking back up here, yeah, you have a 2020 Cooper S British Racing Green. The problem with the navigation with retrofitting that stuff is it requires a whole new harness, unlike the first generation Minis where everything was already in the car and you just had to like plug it in and program it. They did away with that with the later generation. So unfortunately, you don't get a lot of the retrofittable stuff that you used to. However, there are some nice aftermarket navigation systems that would work fine if you wanted to add that in. But I personally just would get a iPhone mount, mount my phone up there, or an Android phone, whatever you have, and just run the Bluetooth for your audio for your navigation system and just do that. And it works just fine. Nickerish, my dream car is JCW. Mine is another JCW, of course. I always claim I have my dream car, and I keep finding another one. Tom McQuiston, cool. Thanks for the info on the manual update. Yep. Des Miller, sorry, F60 Countryman Cooper S. Very nice, very nice. I like the F60 Countryman. That's the demo. The service loaner I'm driving right now is an F60 Countryman, and it drives very. If you might notice, the Countryman actually does drive very well. People think it drives like a big car. The engine sits much lower in the car than you would expect. And also, I find that with the manual transmission, which you can't get anymore, I find that I actually can shift it a lot easier because I can push down on the pedal instead of pushing forward on the pedal, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of fun driving that car, but it shifts really well. The clutch is really nice on it. It's just a really interesting vehicle to drive with the manual, and unfortunately, they did away with that on the all-wheel drive ones in the U.S., so I'm kind of disappointed with that. But they have their reasons, whatever those may be. They have their reasons. I think in about 4 more minutes, I'm going to call it quits for the evening. But I don't know if any of you all had any other questions, and I got one more. Nickerish, I got my first Mini in mid-December 2017, and I still have it. Very, very nice. So, Nickerish, you were up here. Yeah. I don't know what kind of stripes you want to do on your car, Nickerish, but I could recommend 1 or 2 different options, or just try something different. Do something unique. You don't necessarily have to do stripes. If you look on Instagram, there's some cars on there that don't even have stripes. I think one has clusters of shapes all over the car, and it looks pretty cool. So it really doesn't matter. You could do stripes if you want, but you don't have to. Mini Mafia, can you have any experience with wireless phone charge? I have one in my F54, and my iPhone gets overheated. I have no experience with the iPhone with the wireless charging in the cars with the wireless chargers because I don't actually have a wireless charger for my phone, so I wouldn't know for sure how that works. I've not seen it in any of the Minis that I've been in, which would kind of surprising. I have seen them in some BMWs, but I haven't seen them in really any of the Minis yet. But I don't know much about the wireless phone charging, but I don't know if there's an issue with maybe the age of the phone, or it could be some sort of glitch with the car's systems, and I don't know necessarily if that's causing you problems. It sounds like it is causing you some problems there, but it could be the phone needing an update. It could be that's an older phone. It could be a number of things that are causing that. It could also be the system is not working correctly. And I'd get that if it's causing you issues, I'd get your local dealership to take a look at it and see if there's a problem, because it sounds like there is if your phone's overheating. Nickerish says I might get stripes on the bonnet, hood, whatever you want to do. Okay, Dale says his overheats and glitches too. So it seems like it might be a software thing, maybe. Could be a software thing with the car, or it could be a software thing with the phone. So if it is causing you issues, you can choose to either not use it and just plug your phone in and charge it using a regular lightning wire, or you could take it into the dealership and have it looked at and see if there's something wrong. So it's up to you really what you want to do with regard to that. So anywho, what else am I looking at here? There's not much else really going on lately with Mini. I'm still waiting for the new Sidewalk Edition to come out so I can take that for a test drive and video for you all. And it's not going to be much of a test drive because it's just still a Cooper S convertible. So I kind of try to take out new cars or interesting stuff, but it gets a little difficult when there's not much new coming out and you have to kind of look for special editions, or you have to make really fun music videos like what I did with that electric Mini. So it can be kind of a challenge at times. I'm looking for ideas of videos that I could do with my own clubman, and I'm hoping that maybe some of you all out there might have suggestions of what I could do with that, short of expensive modifications, because I don't have that kind of money right now. I know most YouTubers do, but I don't have the kind of money to actually run to actually run out and do major modifications to my car. Dale Taylor says, but maybe all the apps running in the background. That could be your cause for your overheating, is all the apps in the background. Have you seen a zipper on rear quarters unzipping? Yes, Des Miller. I've seen that vinyl that you're talking about, and I know that motoringstripes.com actually can make that vinyl, and I think they could do it pretty. They would probably do it pretty well for you all. They can take orders for vinyl, whatever you want for your car. They can include instructions on how to install it, and they can ship to you around anywhere in the U.S. and I think even around the world in some areas. They'll tell you how to install it. There's a wet method to install. There's a dry method to install. And I'm sure they would be able to put together a kit for you if you wanted one. So that's still, I still say motoringstripes.com is the best place to get vinyl for your Mini, but not everyone will necessarily have that same opinion, or for that matter, they might not be close enough that they would want to order from them if they can't afford the shipping or something along those lines. But Motoring Stripes does some really good stuff, really good vinyl, really good decals, really good grill badges, as the case may be. So I would contact them and see what they could do for you. They would offer you naturally, if you use the code Miniac, you'll get a 5% discount from them. So I take advantage of that if you really want to talk to them about a vinyl for your car. I'd take advantage of that. But yeah, I've seen exactly the vinyl you're talking about, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Mine's done. I'll put it on Instagram. Okay. Looking forward to seeing that. I would like to see that, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. I've been trying different ideas for my car, because I had vinyl on my Clubman, and I had it taken off after the repairs that were done because someone ran into it while it was parked. So they put new vinyl on it, and I didn't like how it looked. So he is doing new vinyl for me. So there's going to be a whole new look to the Clubman come sometime next week. So it'll be pretty cool, and I'm sure you'll all get to see pictures of it. I can assure you, it's gonna look pretty sharp. I think it's gonna look good. But anyway, we're now 32 minutes in, and I think it's time to wrap it up tonight because it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I got a lot of work to do still, and I got a lot of work I got to do tomorrow. But I wanted to thank you all for coming to this live stream this evening for Wednesday, January 29th. We are heading into February, and that means we're going back to Monday, Friday videos at 2 p.m. Central, and we're going to have a live stream on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'm going to remind you all that, as always, life is too short to drive a boring car, so drive a Mini. I will see you all later. You all have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Nickerish, have you ever put aftermarket wheels on your Mini? Yes, I put aftermarket wheels on my Mini. What you want to remember to do is make sure that you have hub-centric adapters for the wheels, because the wheels on certain Minis are either 56.1, I think is for the R55 and R53s, or R56, R53s, and you want to make sure that it fits the hub correctly so it doesn't move around. I don't remember what the current generation is. I think it's actually like 66.6 or something like that. But anyway, you all have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening. I will see you at the next live stream. Enjoy Friday's video as well. And if you haven't already watched the video on the electric Mini that I did tonight, go over there and check it out. Watch it. It's only 2 minutes. It's only about 3 minutes long. It should be pretty fun, pretty enjoyable. It has a nice beat to it. So go over and check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. But until next time, I'll see you all later. You all have a fantastic evening.